My talk is called Beyond Competitive Play and Why We Use Broken Game Design to Balance Stickball. So I'm Martin. I'm a graduate from IT University in Copenhagen, and I work as a game designer at a small indie startup called Rainbows. I'm also a hobbyist poker player. So we make a game called Stickball, and it's a local multiplayer sports game where you take a ball and you nail your friends in the face with it, and then you run like hell as they try to get revenge by shooting you with a cannon or crushing you with a whale. So I think originally Stickball is a playground game, Scandinavian or Danish, I don't know the origins really well, and it's a dodgeball type game, but it's played free for all, but it has a lot of similarities. What we wanted to do was to create a party game, so that would be fun for a lot of different players, but that would also have a really solid and deep core gameplay. That was important for us. So the format of the game is a last man standing type game where the last player to get eliminated scores a point, and the first to achieve a certain amount of points win the game. And when players are eliminated from the rounds, they get to control a little icon outside the match, and they can use that to invoke different kinds of hazardous events that can influence the gameplay. And we thought that was a fun way to keep players engaged between the rounds. So one thing I'm sure many of you can recognize is that game balance is a bit of a challenge in local multiplayer games. Like usually you would want to tackle that by having a lot of randomness or having the game sort of police the action so better players don't. So just keep the game interesting even though the players aren't equally matched. So when we started playtesting Stickball, we experienced that the game actually to a certain extent balanced itself because we had these mechanics where when some players got ahead, the rest of the players would gang up on that player, and that would make it significantly more difficult to win when you were ahead on points. So that's, of course, really unfair, which is also why it's so much fun. But to us, it felt actually a lot less unfair than being hit by the blue shell in Mario Kart or something like that. Yeah, that's why we kept that. The interesting thing is that there's probably not a single conventional game design theory paper or something that would call this good game design. And I think that illustrates like how poorly we understand the space of local multiplayer games and party games and the particular dynamics between the players in these games. And what's more important is that I think it illustrates like just how cool it is that we have so many games that explores exactly this space gathered here today. So, yeah, that's it.